I want to start off with this video with this one statement here about the fear and greed in these marketplaces and why the fear and greed index is such an amazing indicator to help us understand what's likely to happen moving forward. And it's one of the reasons why most people actually don't do really well out of trading as well. I'm going to be looking at the crypto, I'm going to be looking at gold, silver, I'm going to be looking at the stock market and why I believe we are setting up for an all rocket man. That's right, all rocket men to come. What does that mean? Everything's about to go through a really big move. This correction we're seeing right now in cryptos, in gold, in silver, especially silver, right? Silver could be getting ready for a big move to $75, maybe even $100. I'm going to share with you exactly why I see that on the charts. Stock market right now setting up for a big move. And I want to start off with this level here, okay? A lot of people, the biggest mistake that a lot of people traders make when they trade in the markets is they're using their ego. What do I mean by that? So there's a thing called, obviously, when there's a lot of people that are fearful in the markets, we know if we look back in time, the best times to buy the market have been when, right? Look at this here. So if I bring up this string through here, if I just bring up this screen through here, every time we've gone through a drop here or we've gone through fear in the marketplace, right? We could use the fear and greed index here. Every time we've gone through fear, every time the fear and greed index gets to a point where we actually are really fearful in the market, we get at least a rally from the markets. We know that. Now, we don't know exactly when the bottom's going to be. We don't know exactly the day that's going to happen. But we know within, say, a week or two of seeing the fear and greed index do this, we know what's coming out in the next couple of weeks. What is that? The fear and greed index here is going to be back at extreme greed, right? What does that mean? Stock market rally. Now, this is where a lot of people, their ego gets involved, because I'm seeing a lot of people trying to call the top in the stock market when I'm just like, are you seeing what I'm seeing? Okay. Firstly, I'm going to show you this. I'm going to show you what I mean here. Now, check this out here. This statement says it all for as a trader, and it took me a long time to really understand this, okay? So if you look at this here, so extreme fear can be a sign that investors are too worried. That could be a buying opportunity. When investors are getting too greedy, that means the market is due for a correction. And we see this time and time and time and time and time again. Now, due for a correction, right? So we can use this sentiment here. And why most people who trade the markets don't know this, because most of you guys that are watching my video right now are followers. Meaning this, the reason why you don't do well as a trader is because you follow the herd. Meaning the herd is fearful right now. There's a lot of fear in the marketplace. Fear, fear, fear. Market's going down. Fear, fear, fear. And you go with the herd and then you get your face ripped off. Or greed, greed, greed. Oh my goodness, greed. Market's going to the moon. You better get on now. FOMO, FOMO. And you get your face ripped off. You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? I've been trading the markets for 20 years. And through that 20-year period, I learned that, hang on a minute. Everyone's saying this, and I did this, and I lost a lot of money. Now I do the opposite. I make a lot of money. Anyway, so that's what I'm saying here, right? So this here says it all, and so therefore, what I'm looking at here on the stock market, I'll look at the stock market first. Is this? There's two things when looking at the charts that we need to understand here. Okay, there's sentiment, and we know sentiment, like the fear and greed index. Here, sentiment in the markets, it gives us a good broad of where we're at right now, right? Not the exact bottom or low or so on and so forth. Like, okay, but where are we at right now? And the only way that I've learned to read this properly and not go with the 90% or the 95% of traders who lose money in the markets all the time. 95% of you traders are watching the market right. 95% of you traders who are watching my video right now are losing money. And one of the reasons why you're losing money is because your ego is getting involved. Remove your ego and look at the facts of what I'm trying to tell you. Okay, I've been trading the markets for 20 years. I'm trying to teach you something that really will help you when it comes to just looking at the swings of these markets, right? A lot of you guys are trying to call tops in the markets right now. Why are you trying to call a top of the market? There's nothing here to call a top in the stock market right now. Nothing. Everything is still very bullish. I'm going to show you two big things here that's to understand. Firstly, sentiment. We know, what did Warren Buffett say? Buy when people are fearful, sell when people are greedy. There's so much fear in the marketplace, right? The fear and greed index helps us with that. Last time we got this here, this is where like a lot of people's ego, right? So last time we had the, and this is not just now. I've been watching the fear and greed index now for probably consistently the last 3 years. And every time we get these levels here, it's just a matter of time within a few weeks that then we start to get a big rally to the upside. Make sense? A big rally to the upside. And then we go through the upside. So we're down here. We don't know exactly when. Yes, it can stay down here for another week or two. That's not what this is all about. That's not saying, well, tomorrow we go up to, like, no, like, let's actually be smart here, okay? This is about saying, okay, where are we likely to be 2-3 months from now? Are we likely to be more down, or are we likely to be up? And we're likely to be up because of the sentiment here. Make sense? So to me, right, and a lot of you guys are calling tops in the markets right now, so like you're going to get your face ripped off. So that's the first thing I do say about the stock market here, okay? This is what I'm seeing right now when it comes to the stock market. But here's the big thing as well too, okay? I want to do something here for you. I want to share something with you here. Class is in session for you guys when it comes to reading these markets, okay? So when we look at a chart, what is a chart? Now, firstly, if you have a whole bunch of crap on your chart, the stochastics, the MACDs. But John, the monthly MACD, stop it. The monthly MACD says it's going to go up tomorrow. Come on now, seriously. All right, anyway. What is a chart here? What actually is a chart? A chart is what? Nothing but a representation of what the big boys who push this market around are thinking and feeling at the time. And if we learn how to read what they're telling us, we can start to get an idea of, is this a top, or is this just likely to be some sort of correction, which is part of a trend before we see another really big move, in this case to the upside. There's two different things here, right? There's two different things here about the markets here. And this is where like it's so important to understand this here. Rule number one is, what is the big boys thinking and feeling? What are they really doing? Are they creating a top right now where we need to be a warning sign? Or are they not? Is this just a short-term correction before we continue big bull market? Or is it not? And let me show you what I mean here. And this simple rules is this, okay? One thing I've learned is this, and I'm gonna use this last 5 years here to show you how, by utilizing this one simple thing I'm gonna teach you right now, helps you understand whether we are just part of a pullback, a correction, or it's actually creating a bit of a top right now before we start to see a lot more downside. So here we go, okay? Class is in session for you guys. So firstly, in a very big sort of strong bull market from here, right? Let's actually do this here. In a very strong big bull market, what do we have? We have up, down, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. So if the market comes down, comes down, comes down, comes down, comes down, comes down, it's been coming down through all through here. What's the trend still? The trend is up, right? We know that. Why? Because there's a low, right? There we go. There's a higher low. There's a higher low. There's a higher low. This low here right now, even though it's been coming down, is still what? Higher than this high. Higher than this low, right? So therefore, there's a high probability that we're likely to what? Likely to make a run to the upside from there. And then guess what do we do, right? Then we create another high low, and then this is what the trend is, right? So these little drops here is what most amateurs don't see, because they're focusing on too short of a time frame. Even focus on the daily chart is the wrong thing. I'm going to show you why, even just looking at this level here, of what is the first warning sign to say that this bull market, this bull phase is over. What is the first warning sign we need to focus on for? And until we get that warning sign, your ego saying the top is in is completely wrong. And you're going to get your face stripped off big time. Don't do it. I've done it so many times, right? It's called don't fight the market. Now, here we go. Here we go, okay? What is the first warning sign? Well, in a very big bull market, if we make lows, higher lows, as long as we keep making these higher lows and the buyers come back in, well, we do know the trend is going to continue. We're going to keep going up. So what I do say though is this, is that there's the last low there, okay? There's that last low there. If the market comes down and then suddenly breaks the low, so we're no longer, that's a low and that's a low now. So then now we're now making a lower low. That is the first sign, especially when we're looking at the weekly chart, where the weekly chart is the very big trend that we should be focusing on. When we're looking at this weekly chart here, when it starts to break this low here, that's the very first time that now we have a breaking of a low. What does that mean? That means that, remember, the big boys here create the trends, right? The market goes up, it has a pullback, goes up, correction, up, correction, up, correction, up. And as long as we have these corrections in place, then we keep making these higher lows. At that time, you cannot be calling top. The top's not even in. Right? You cannot be there's nothing in the market that says the top is in. And now, what you're probably going to be doing is you're probably going to try to be smart and try to add some logic to your trading. But John, the debt bubble and the currency collapse. People say the currency collapse. Are you serious? Look at the dollar. The dollar's been going up since September. The currency collapse. No, dollar's been going up since September. We're now what? Almost in December. September, October, November, December, right? Right? It's like people just regurgitate all this bullshit they see on the internet. No, you're doing yourself a dissatisfaction. You want to actually make money from the traders? You actually want to make money from trading? Listen to me. Stop listening to that bullshit and listen to the chart. Listen to the chart. Listen to the chart. The chart is the thing that's telling you what's going on. And we see this low, high, low, high, low. If we start to break the low, that's the first warning sign to say now we could be getting ready for some sort of a correction, or even a sharp drop here. But until that happens, no, play ball with the bull because it's just a correction, right? So let me show you what I mean here. So let's look at this here. Let me show you here. So if we look at both of these very big bull markets, and we've had these big corrections point through here, right? This one was fast. This one here was a fast drop to the downside, and this one here was a big drop to the downside. You know what? Let's actually we'll go to the 2008, right? Look at this. Now remember what I said before. What did I say? Here we go. Remember I said before that on this big weekly chart, a lot of traders get this completely wrong. Up, down, high, low, up, down, high, low, up, down, high, low, up, 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 down, 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 down. This here might be 1 month worth of drop to the downside. But what they're completely missing is it's just a correction in a very big bull market, and then we go back up again, and then people get it completely wrong, right? So look at this here. Look at 2008. What did 2008 do? Look at this here. Low, major high, low, major high. Look down, up, down, high, low, up, all down, high, low, higher, low, higher, low, and higher, low. Now look at this here. Right here was what? That's when we started to get now the warning sign the top was in. Why? Right, look at this here. Low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. This here is the very first time that we got breaking of the lows. Now guess what happens? Then we get a rally and then we get the drop to the downside. So this is the thing. Once we're no longer making higher lows in this very big bull market, that's the sign we have ended the trend. Let me go back to now. I'm just bringing up the 2008. Let me go back to what's happening right now. This is how the markets work on the deepest level here. Look at this here. Low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. What ended up happening? Look, there it broke the low. So we're no longer making higher lows anymore. We're no longer in an upward trend. That's the first warning sign. And then we start to see this going on. Look at this here. Low, higher low, higher low, down, up, higher low, down, up, higher low, down, up, higher low. Broke the low. Now we have the warning sign. So where do we stand right now in the marketplace? Not what I think, or my ego, or my hopes, or my dreams, all this regurgitating bullshit that you hear from the internet. No, what is really going on so we can make good decisions about what's really likely to come. What's going on right now? Oh, we have just done what? What is this here? This is just what? Up. We're just getting a little bit of a pullback right now. This is a big bull market. And even if we get a little bit of a correction, even if we get that through there, guess what? It's just a correction, and there's a major probability we're going to have a pullback. We're going to create another higher low because it's strong to the upside, come back down, higher low, and then away we go. Nothing on this chart right now is saying we're getting into an upward trend. You're trading with your ego. You're trading with your hopes or your hopes, right? Especially if you short the market right now. You shorting a very big bull market. What are you doing? Seriously, don't short a big bull market. You're going to get your face ripped off. Go with the market. Look at this here. When have all the big profits been? With the market, 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 right? Not try to go against it, short the market, short the market. These drops through here, go with the market. Do not be trying to short a big bull market, right? It's just crazy, stupid. I'm going to call the top right now. When nothing on here, the chart says we're in a very big upward trend, and this is just a short-term little correction. That's all it is, right? There's nothing here to tell us there's no high or low being broken. And on top of that, we now have sentiment of fear and greed telling us there's a lot of fear here. Everything is screaming that this is just a short-term little correction. The fear to get you guys, 95% of you traders who don't make money in the markets because you're trading with all these ideas and trying to be smart. And I'm trying to teach you right now, 20 years of me trading the markets and going through so much bullshit. I'm trying to teach you the two big things that is going to make a big difference to your trading and actually helping you see what's likely to come moving forward. So you can position yourself so when that thing does come, you make money. Guess what I've been doing this week? I've been buying call options on the S&P 500. Why? Because you get the point, right? Now, no, I don't know if we're going to be the low here. I'm not trying to call the low right now. What am I doing with my call option position that I've been doing this week? I do know that if we hold here, cool, rocket man to the upside. If we don't and we have a little bit more drop to the downside, within the next 3-4 months, rocket man to the upside. Either way, there's a massive probability we're going to get this in the next 2 to 3 months. I just don't know how it's going to happen over the next couple of weeks. Ooh, I'm very confident seeing this. Why? Because we're in a very big bull market. This is just a correction and we've got a lot of fear. And every time we get fear, within a few weeks, we find the bottom and then we go for a very big rally again. And when that happens, guess what? Winner, winner, chicken dinner, you make money. But no, I'm going to try to be smart. I'm going to try to short the market, even though the big bull market is still in place and there's nothing on the chart that says we're going to actually go, nothing we're going to go down here. And sentiment's really fearful. And guess what? Once again, winner, winner, chicken dinner, extreme fear can be a sign that investors are too worried. That could be a buying opportunity. And notice that's actually highlighted in green, baby, green. You see what I'm saying here, guys? The unfortunate thing about you, and this is one of the reasons why, guys, I have a coaching program, by the way. That's that second link in the description. I've got 2 spots left for my 1% group. If you're interested in that, go apply for it. Now, the reason why I've been trading the markets for 20 years, and there is 99% of the 900, if there's 1,000 things out there, 998 are bullshit. Right. MACD on a weekly chart, a monthly chart. Stop it. Stop all that bullshit. It's not going to really... What are the most important things that move the needle for you? That actually help you what's going on. Meaning, like, firstly, fear and greed index. Secondly, like, okay, cool. This is the chart here right now. What we're seeing here. Is this just a correction? Is this just a little short-term correction? Or is it something else? Right now, it's just a short-term little correction. We haven't had any... Look at this here, guys. Right? We have this very big up move from here, and then we get a little correction. Up move and correction. Up move and correction. Up move and correction. Up move and correction. Up move. Uh-oh, game over. See what I'm saying here? So right now, what are we getting? We just had a huge up move. Of course, we're going to get a little correction. And as soon as we get... Like, we're... Anyway... Rocket Man's coming, guys. Rocket Man. Please don't be short in this market. Or you can do whatever you want to do. But you short this market right now, I promise you, you're going to get your face ripped off. Watch what happens over the next month. Santa Claus is coming to town. Right? We're only 5% away from new highs anyway. It's like short-term little drop and people are freaking out. This is going to rip your face off something big time, right? Santa Claus is coming to town, right? Santa Claus. And Santa Claus... is going to send this thing rocket man to the upside. Now, here's the big thing here. This is the stock market here. You can see what's going on here right now. This is not all stocks, by the way, guys. The biggest mistake that people make is they hear what I've just said there about the stock market, right? And remember, this is not the stock market. This is all markets. This is how I read cryptos. This is how I read stocks. This is because what? It's all the same thing. Look at the weekly chart. Keep an eye on the big weekly chart. If the weekly chart is still in a very big upward trend, go with that. Don't fight it. Yes, we do get this. You get the point, right? Now, people say, oh, John said the stock market's bullish. I'm going to go buy Amazon today. Stop it. No. I'm reading right now. I'm doing my analysis right now. And everything I just said here right now is for the S&P 500. I don't know. Amazon's doing something different right now. Right? Not all markets are going to go through this big melt up. right? But guess what? Look where we are right now. Look where we are right now. My ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, boys and squirrels. Look at this here. Very big breakout of this level from here. We've come back down. We actually bounced off it just recently. So if we do hold here, we start to break up, and we start to break above this here, especially above this 7,000, you know what's coming, right? A face ripper rocket man rally. Face ripper rocket man rally is going to come. I believe this is going to happen in cryptos. I'm going to get to cryptos in just a minute. Silver and gold, right? I'm going to get to all these things here. And then guess what? When that happens, oh my goodness, it's like, I hope you guys are not short this stock market right now. Now, this is the S&P 500, right? Obviously, there's a lot of stocks that are in a very big bear market right now, like Adobe and so on and so forth. But I'm just talking about the S&P 500 and the main indices here. This here is, I hope you're not short here right now, because when that happens, this thing is about to see a massive move to the upside here. Go with the market. You're going to do well much more. If you go with the market, meaning in a very big upward trend, just go with it, right? You're going to make more money. You're going to have big profits, small losses, and you're going to have a good win-loss ratio, and it's going to be much, much easier from you from there. All right, now let's actually go to the silver chart. So one of the big things for me is I'm always looking at what these charts are doing. Okay, so I am actually really been focusing on. I'm not too sure about gold. Gold is, as you can, case in point, right? Look at gold. Gold is still in a very big bull market, by the way. What I was calling back here for you guys, you guys got to understand the differences between a correction and a complete top. As this market was going through here, I was screaming for a correction coming. We've got the correction right now, right? And FYI, from the top to the bottom, we actually got a 10-11% correction. But what is gold still though? Let's actually use the exact same analysis. What is gold? Gold is what? Look at this here. Here we go. Up, down, high, low, higher, low, higher, low, higher, low, higher, low, up, down. We're just going through another correction through. That's all it is. We're not completely ending the bull market. No, that's not what I've been calling. I've just been calling a correction because I know there's a lot of people out there that when the market does do this here, they load up on leverage and the market has a little move to the downside and they get completely wiped out. You see it all the time, right? So no, gold's not over, right? It's still in a very big bull market. So we're probably going to continue the upside. But the big thing I'm focusing on right now, the big thing I'm seeing right now is silver. This here, right? So the big thing here is, let me show you this here. So the first thing I'm noticing here is if I go back and look at these last few if I go back here and I go back to the last few times, we had these major spikes, these were resistance here, resistance, and look what happened here, right? We broke through here. So as we broke through here, and we got a little bit of a short-term correction now, look what's been happening, right? So I've got two lines here. This is a weekly chart here, but look what happened just recently. It came down and found support. Now, let me go to the daily charts here. Let me show you this here. What happened here on the daily charts? This point right here is what? That point right there, this here is that previous major resistance we had with the two big spikes and spike, and now we're holding support. All right? So, yes, I was calling a correction out of silver, and we got it. So, that's what happened, right? Done deal, right? Guys, don't mix it up for it. Don't mix it up for anything else. All I was saying is we're going to get a real sharp, fast correction, and we did. And as you know, silver has just been down 16%. And if you had leverage on a leverage future position or short-term options, you got your face ripped off big time. You know that. That's what my only hope was back here when I was saying to people, get ready for it. Anyway, so, but what's happening here? The trend is still up, right? Look at this here. Up, down, high, low, up, down. If we hold here and we continue this very big, strong trend line coming through here, and we continue up and boom, breakout. Get ready for another move to the upside. Now, when we do that, we start to break above 55,000. Where's it likely to go? Well, this is where we can use simple extensions on the markets here, right? Simple, just extensions. And so if I use a simple extension, you can see up here, this is the $75 level. Silver could be getting ready for another big move, guys. There's so much opportunity here right now. So much opportunity. Oh, once you see this, here, guys? Oh my goodness, the stock market, silver, even the crypto. I'm going to get to the cryptos in just a minute as well too. Right? There's just so much opportunity. So if we look at this actually extensions, we just look at it from an extension point of view. Right? Low to high, da 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 da. Right? Let me go to here. Let me go back to here. Let me go back to here. Right. Right, I'm just trying to find the right one. Let's go Fibonacci retracement first. Low to high. Low to high, that's the 50% level there. Yep, okay, cool. Now let's go extensions. Low to high. And then we can go down to low here from there. And as you can see, actually we go to 68. That's the extension there, the extension there. But then I see this thing actually breaking out and having a... Yep, from there. Breaking up here, but then we're probably like at a race above that level and probably around that $75 level from there. You know what? And this could even go even higher. Like we could even have a big, massive blow-off move towards 100. That's the type of thing that's actually happening with silver right now. We could get a massive, massive move towards even 100 from there. So potentially big moves coming in the silver market. Now, let's go have a look at a bit of a touch on interest rates as well too, right, guys? So once again, if you think about markets from a perspective of cycles, and it's actually an easy, simple point of view, right? What happens with all markets? We go through cycles, right? Interest rates. Let's usually use interest rates as an example. Why am I long TMF? This is TMF here. I'm long this right now. and people, one of the biggest things is people just, they don't, it's so easy to see the cycles. What is a cycle? Like interest rates. What has been happening with interest rates for the last quadrillion years? We go through what? There is cycles. What is a cycle? The cycle is we have an up cycle and then we have a down cycle. We have an up cycle, we have a down cycle. We have an up cycle, we have a down cycle. Have an up cycle, we have a down cycle. We have an up cycle. We're going through an up cycle, now we're going to have a down cycle. And then we have another up cycle. And it repeats. So when we have a down cycle, then we're going to have an up cycle. Now, what's been happening right now? We've had an up cycle and we've been pausing for a while, and then we're probably going to have a bit of a down cycle. Then we're going to have another cycle. So for you guys, for me, I'm not trying to. This is like people that trade the markets. It's like, did you see what happened today with TMF? It's like you are looking at this completely the wrong way. No wonder you don't make a lot of money out of trading. You're looking at this the wrong way. I'm focusing on TMF. I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know how this is going to happen. What I mean by that is I am really confident that as the interest rates come down and we are in a downward cycle, the interest rates have been coming down, the 10-year, the 2-year, the 30-year, the interest rates, the Fed, we are in a cutting cycle. We're in a down cycle. We're in that phase right now. So it's just a matter of time before we start to see TMF start to pick up towards 80, which by the way, that's 100% return, just even buying it. I have bought it and I've got also options. If that happens, I'm probably going to be up 200-300% return, maybe more, and maybe even a rise through there. This could be a 300-500% return on my options when that happens. It's just going to take time. I don't know how that's going to happen, but when you see where the puck is going, because it's just simple cycle analysis, it's not that difficult, right? Everything goes through cycles. Even TMF, we have an up cycle, we have a down cycle, we have an up cycle, down cycle, up cycle, down cycle, up cycle, down cycle, up cycle, down, 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 down. This thing's been absolutely just crushed, actually. What's going to come soon? Actually not that complicated, right? Now, look at this here. Back to here. You know what this is? This is ground control. This is the crypto. This is crypto right now. And the crypto right now is at 11. Now, for you guys that trade crypto, you know what's happening with crypto, right? It's such a for you guys that are still obviously watching my video right now, you would probably know, right? One of the big things to trade in these markets is understanding these things here. And one of the biggest mistakes that a lot of people make is they go with logic, meaning, oh my goodness, there's so much fear in the marketplace, the market's going to crash. And we know that's always wrong. Always wrong, right? There's so much fear. Oh my goodness, market never goes down in big crashes when people are fearful. Never. When is tops formed? Or when is at least big corrections formed? When most people are going down that path. Now here's the interesting thing that I want to share with you here. Check out this. This chart here right now is what? This is the maximum ever since the start of 2018. This is the crypto fear and greed index. Now for you guys to say that fear and greed index is a bunch of bullshit, John, oh my goodness, blah, fear and greed index. This is the stock market fear and greed index. Look where we are. When we almost get back down to here, what happens a few months later? John, fear and greed index doesn't work. It's not going to work this time because this time's different. No, stop it, will you? Why are you overcomplicating for? Here's an example of the last 7 years. Was that 7? 1, 2, 7 years. This is cryptos. Class in session about fear and greed in the markets. Now, down the bottom here, when we got to 10 in the cryptos, what ended up happening within a few months later? Every time we got to here, we had what? That's when cryptos were crashing. What ended up happening within a few months later? It actually found support, and then the market rallies, which causes the market to bounce and go up, bounce and go back up, bounce and go back, bouncing and bouncing and bouncing and bouncing. You get the point what I'm trying to tell you. But no, John, this time's different. Like, this is the fear and greed index for crypto market. If I got more time, if I had more time, meaning of more data, looking at this here, which is the stock market right now. Oh my goodness. Look at this here. It's giving you a blank statement that whenever there is so much fear in the marketplace, all these times have been the best time to buy it. Now, we never know. I'm looking at I'm looking at like this level here, right? It doesn't mean the exact day. If we actually look at it, sometimes we can actually bounce and spend a bit of time here, maybe as the crypto goes down. But within a couple of months, we end up seeing a big move. 1, 2, right? 1, 2, a little bit of a support there. Same thing here, a little bit of a herky-jerky for a while, and we go back up. So it's not about timing the market or timing the bottom. It's not about that, right? And so therefore, what's the therefore? Therefore, when we see the cryptos in the Bitcoin charts, guess what is likely to come out of cryptos real soon? Now, I don't know when. I'm not calling right now. You don't need to know right now to make a lot of money. You don't need to know when the bottom's going to be to make a lot of money. Let me explain why. Here, think about this for a minute, okay? I'm really confident within the next 6 months we're going to be up here somewhere. Now, what did I just say? I'm really confident we're going to be up here somewhere. So if I wanted to make money from cryptos, which I'm not in right now myself, I'm mainly focusing on stock markets and some other things I'm focusing on right now. But stock market, TMF, and there's just so much opportunity out there, right? But if I wanted to make money from cryptos, I would say, okay, this is the game plan, okay? Right now we are here. So there's either two situations that I see happening right now over the next 6 to 12 months. And I see another new high coming. It's either A, gonna continue down here a little bit more, maybe even down to 60,000, and then we see a rocket man to the upside. And then that's how I'm going to start to pick up some coins because I went long here. Or Mr. Rocket Man comes in here and then we start to make our way back up, and then within 6 months we'll go up there. There's a massive probability we're going to be here in the next 6 months. Now, how that happens, I don't know, but you see what I'm saying here? That's the difference between people. Because they're trying to find the bottom. It's going down. I'm scared. Like, now I understand it, right? If you've been around the market, say less than 5 years, I understand it. But because me, and this is what makes like one thing that's really helped me do well out of trading is understand these cycles, understand where we are right now in these markets of things. So we can do this. And this is all markets. As you can see, now, the unfortunate thing is when the market does this, the emotions get so high that you get so, especially if you're in it. I'm telling you right now, the people in crypto markets are getting destroyed right now. But those who understand this is just a simple cycle pullback and where we're likely to be, guess what? And this even happened in the actual, I remember seeing, I know someone, let me go to the NASDAQ here for a minute, right? I know someone in the NASDAQ, and as you can see, the same type of thing, right? NASDAQ had a bit of a drop for a few months. People freaked out. People sold here. Oh my goodness, it's crashing, it's crashing, it's crashing. I know someone who lost $1 million. The market dropped here. His portfolio was down $1 million and he sold because he was fearful. And guess what? And then when people sell, that's the time when the market goes back up again. Right? I'm trying to help you here, right? So again, if you had less than 5 years, even less than 10 years in the markets, please listen to me. I'm teaching you an overall sentiment of all these markets here. And why I'm seeing what I'm seeing and so on and so forth. And why there's a massive probability we're likely to see this. Firstly, it's trend analysis, right? But then also, secondly, even amongst all of that, we start to look at sentiment. And remember, once again, I'm going to finish this off here with all these markets, right? And look at this here. Look at this right here. This says it all right here. Extreme fear can be a sign when investors are too worried. So most investors are worried, and this, once again, most of you guys who are watching this video right now are not doing well. You're not making money. Yet you're in my comment section telling me how much of an idiot I am. Go to getjohntop.com. I show you my real equity curve. Now, show me your equity curve. I want to see it. I want to see it. Like, let's go. So here's the thing though. Most of you guys are not making money because of what? You're listening to all the wrong things that's actually helping you be on the wrong side of that there. Because most of you guys are followers, meaning market goes down, there's a lot of fear. Oh my goodness, fear. The media, the news, the outlets, the clickbait, everything. Fear. And then when everything is fearful, oh my goodness, that's the start of the crash. It's going to crash into recession, right? Now, it's taken me I've been doing this now for 20 years, right? It's taken me a long time to get here. I know. It took me a long time to understand this. I'm trying to give you a 20-year shortcut here, right? Because you're so focused on that, but because this is where the weirdest thing about the markets is that when there is so much fear in the marketplace, the logic of most people's brains says, oh my goodness, there's so much fear, the market's going to crash. And it doesn't. That's when you're like, that doesn't make sense. The market is rigged. No, it's just how the markets work, right? So when the extreme fear is a sign that investors are worried, most investors are worried, they're selling, oh my goodness, so on and so forth. Most traders don't make money in the markets because they don't understand that could be a buying opportunity. And that's where we are right now in the stock market. Mark my words, guys. In the stock market and in crypto markets, we see where we're at right now, right? We see where we are right now when it comes to this whole, what we saw with crypto here, and we saw this here. Mark my words, guys. Over the next 3 months, there's a massive next 3 to 6 months, this fear and greed index is going to be up here somewhere, and within that, we're going to get a massive stock market rally, because when people are fearful, it's time to be greedy.